Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. There he is. He's over there someplace in some unknown location. So check this out. The SEC, Chip, they know. They know exactly what's going on over there. They know that it's a security. They know. They can't convince me otherwise. Come on. And then crypto. Is it possible that crypto could lead the next real estate boom?
Potentially.
Potentially. Man, we got a ton of stuff to go over. A lot of good things. It's like every single day we say that, and just tons.
It's a lot of bad things, Jeff. Tonight, a lot of bad things.
That
doesn't sound as good if you say that.
We got a ton of bad stuff to cover tonight, and it's going to be awesome. We love all the bad stuff. All right. Enough drinking that coffee. Water.
Right. It's kombucha.
Lemonade.
Kombucha. A little kombucha. All right, let's do it. You ready?
All right, let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Well. So, guys, we haven't done this in a while, but drop the city and the country, please. Drop it in there. If you're watching on the replay, drop it in the chat. Jeff and I look at all
see where you're tuning in
comments. And the chat is hard because we're usually talking too much, but other than that, we definitely do.
But it's very cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We got Mike B. We got XRP New Zealand. I wonder where XRP New Zealand is turning in from.
Right there from Christchurch. Says right there.
Nice.
Pay attention, man.
New Zealand.
It's exactly where.
Toronto.
That's where they had that madman with a gun, I think it was Christchurch, if I'm not mistaken.
God,
it's like, oh, great. That's why we're famous. That's so bad.
That's how you get it. Notoriety, apparently. We got a lot of Canada. A lot of Canada comes in
Johor,
here.
Malaysia.
Really
sweet.
Really cool. Man, what time is it over in
Texas
Malaysia?
In here, Toronto.
7 a.m., 8 a.m.
Spent a lot of time in Toronto.
Queenstown,
Toronto.
UK. We got Sierra Vista over in Arizona, Alabama. Netherlands.
Alabama right there. That's
Gasperino over in the Netherlands.
Not Moneybags. Moneybags not Bob.
Simon over in Australia.
Australia. Beautiful.
Nice.
Deaton. Marxistville, Canada. Gosh, I love this. I love this crowd right here. Easterly, Jeff City.
You ever been to Easterly, Florida?
You can't even say it. It's Easterly.
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 No, it's Easterly.
Kerrville, Texas. Yeah, Seattle. And Seattle on business, but where do you normally reside? That's what we want to know.
That's it. All right.
Las
Vegas, baby.
Vegas. Creepy. And then we got Canberra, Australia. Yeah.
Nice.
Vegas in the house.
We got people tuning in from all over the world.
Lots of
Canada, lots of other cool places. A lot of cool things going on overall. But hey, I want to jump into this one. So, I already had it open. Never mind. I had to pop this up. This one, trying to get it. Kind of gotta go. Here we go. Trying to share my screen, click 1,000 buttons. So this I thought was really cool, right? Because so Eleanor posted this earlier this afternoon. On the latest ruling in the SEC v. Ripple case, John Deaton gave me his biggest takeaways, and here's what I find most interesting. On June 13th, 2018, the day before the Hinman speech, the SEC legal team reviewed whether XRP was a security in a legal memo and did not, wait for it, let's view it in a reader, and did not recommend
easily.
Can't speak today. This is very easily. And did not recommend bringing any enforcement action against Ripple or its executives. This shows the SEC lawyers did not think it was unequivocal that XRP was a security. So what changed in 2 years? Lots to get into here. Gasperino will discuss 335 on Fox Business.
What you did. I have that clip too.
Yeah, that's awesome. But that's Chip. This is really, interesting. I saw this tweet and I said, you know what? This is starting to make, a lot of sense over here, because they have a memo that comes out, right? So this is already 4 years ago, almost 3.5 years ago, and there wasn't really recommendation yet, right? Obviously, we didn't see action until last December. It was December 20th, I believe. Is it the 20th?
So funny the way that happens, right, Jeff?
Right around there. Yeah. So 2 years, no action. They don't even recommend it. Then boom, last day. Hey, let's do it. Let's get some action going on. So there's all this fodder out there, Chip. We were saying this the other day. Why is it that they all somehow forget that every single thing they do is recorded? All their videos, all their audio, all their discussion, everything becomes, can be public record, even though some of it might get redacted. But overall, they seem to just forget about that part of it. And they want to kind of bob and weave and adjust,
This is interesting, Jeff, because what's going to happen is they're going to bring this up and say, well, that's weird. You didn't think it was a security then. So that's going to play into the whole fair notice. And they didn't do anything because they didn't think it was any big deal. But on the way out the door, we know that there was discovery going on for 2.5+ years, because they had to roll back the there's a certain period you can go back, and they had to suspend that. I forget what that's called. There's a legal term for that, but they had to do that in this particular case. So it's kind of weird. I have the Fox Business clip, thanks to Bank XRP, our pal. Great guy. Love his stuff. And he put the clip out there. So it's 4 minutes long. So we'll probably listen to a little bit, maybe comment, because that's a long time for us to sit here doing nothing, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, put it on, go full screen. I'm gonna go grab a drink at the pub down the street.
There you go. Let's do it.
All right,
it's being blown up right now. I don't know why it's being blown up.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
This. All right, let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's play this a little bit clip. Here we go.
Pulling up XRP right now because that cryptocurrency at the moment is moving. Most of the cryptos are moving lower. Bitcoin's higher, but XRP is down just under 1%, trading at about 73 cents. The lead judge in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit has just handed down a decision to allow certain documents that are crucial to the case to be allowed into evidence. Charlie Gasperino has been speaking with the experts involved.
Now, what I like about this, Liz, there's one part of this thing that, see if you can find it, when she does a hand gesture, and I almost lost it because it was like really funny and unbecoming of a news anchor that you wouldn't normally see. Just see if you could spot it, Jeff, because I actually laughed out loud. I'm like, oh, I love that. But she's really getting into it. She's like, XRP and the judge ruled, and I mean, there's like some excitement going on. It's not like, and today in the case, the judge ruled, and the Ripple versus
this clip from today.
It is. Yeah, it's really.
Can you let it scroll forward for like 1 split second so we can see what Ford Motors was closing at?
I would think, Charlie, this
2262.
Oh, look at that, man.
So Liz claiming she's all into it. So then Charlie comes in here, rides in. He's all looking dapper and everything. Let's listen in.
All right.
Let's listen in.
Favors XRP big time, right?
I would say, net, yes. And we should point out that XRP is the cryptocurrency. I know Ripple's going to hate me for saying this because part of their argument is that they're not really related, but they really are. XRP is the cryptocurrency of Ripple. XRP was created and then used to build out Ripple's blockchain platform for cross-border payments.
Okay, so he got beat up pretty hardcore on Twitter today, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, I can see why.
He got beat up, and they're like, no, OpenCoin gifted it to Ripple. They didn't create it. And I mean, yeah, there are technicalities. I think the main thing we got to pay attention here with Charlie is that he's putting it out there. And it's like, this is what's so unbecoming of the XRP army. No, it was gifted by Ripple. It wasn't it. And no, they didn't build out their whole blockchain. And no, I mean, just let it go, man.
And you think about this, just like Eleanor was saying the other night, when she was on, she was referencing how she's been researching crypto now for 2-3 months. So they're digging in, they're getting deep into a lot of things that happened, with the SEC in relation to its response, its reaction to the Ethereum Foundation, to Ripple, to XRP. But some of this the terminology and still bringing the nuance of the crypto space is still relatively new to both of them. And so they're catching on, and it is somewhat semantic, but at the same time, it can be, very technical as well, to really state that no, Ripple and XRP are not the same thing. So they aren't interchangeable. Ripple, the company, versus XRP, the digital asset. And I think that's where, that's something that maybe after Charlie gets off, someone's going to pull him aside and say, hey, by the way, when you're terminology is everything, right? And as soon as you lose that war on terminology and everyone starts using it like that, then you could potentially lose, multiple battles. And you have to make sure that you control that narrative, which is the narrative of terminology.
Wow, that's a lot, Jeff. I'm looking up there on the screen on the screen graphic. It says USD per XRP, and it's in parentheses. It has XRP equals BTSP. What does that mean, Jeff?
I have no idea.
I have no clue. I don't know.
Oh, that's Bitstamp. They must be getting the price from Bitstamp.
Okay, because it's BTSP. I'm like, what is BTSP?
That's what I'm assuming.
But it wouldn't be equals. That's the other weird thing. It would just be like, and you wouldn't. Why would you put it in the header too? Something's weird about that. Anyway, I don't know. If anybody knows in the chat, throw it in there. I don't know what that means exactly, but
Dakota says live Bitstamp price point. So that's where they're getting it from. Maybe that's just the way they.
It's just the XRP equals BTSP Bitstamp, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Not even CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. Okay. Here we go.
The SEC came in right at the end of Jay Clayton's tenure in 2020 and said XRP was used illegally, improperly. It should have been registered as a security. Ripple, which issued the XRP again, is fighting back. This is
just to clarify, Ripple didn't actually issue it because it was open coin, just a small little minor thing there, but they did not issue it. There you go.
And that's what Pam was asking. Wasn't XRP created before the company Ripple?
It's called OpenCoin, and it was gifted to Ripple, so they didn't actually issue it. But again, it's a technicality. Let's not get crazy.
The case. It sounds like gobbledygook here, I know, but this is a huge case if you're into crypto, because if the SEC wins this case, it's carte blanche on regulating everything crypto. It can go after Ethereum. It can say Ethereum was technically a security and they didn't register, so they owe us money and they have to go through the process. And so far right now, it's illegal. They could theoretically go after Bitcoin. I mean, try to track down Satoshi Nakamura and say,
Satoshi Nakamoto, but
Nakamoto.
Who's
that's okay. That's an easy.
That's
semantics.
Sorry, I get that wrong. But don't worry, Liz Claiborne's going to jump in and correct him.
Why didn't you register with us, Nakamoto? Why didn't you register with us? I mean, I'm being a little facetious there, but that is a possibility. It could go back, and the SEC can gain great powers. Ripple is fighting back. And one of their key arguments, Liz, is that the SEC is playing double standard. It has a double standard here. It allowed during the Clayton years, and so far right now during the Gensler years, these other cryptocurrencies to be considered currencies and not securities. They didn't have to register with the SEC, but they made
they're
XRP
held to different standards, obviously.
Different standards. So now how are they going to prove that case? Well, they got access now to some documents, some privileged, what was considered privileged documents by the SEC. The SEC hates giving up documents and wants all its stuff done in secret. And you know why? I mean, because they don't want, there's a debate going on. But anyway, the key part.
That was great when she lifted her hands out. I just want to see that again. It's just fantastic.
Oh, that's brilliant.
She's just sitting there all like,
oh my God,
stoic, and then and something else I took offense to is now it's okay if he mentioned the Clayton years, Jeff, but I didn't like him referring to the Gensler years. I wish it would have been just the Gensler year or 11 months.
That's right? About it. Yeah, there are no years. It's not even a year yet, but
yeah, let's not go into the years. Let's not get crazy here, okay?
Privileged documents by the SEC. The SEC hates giving up documents and wants all its stuff done in secret. And you know why? I mean, because they don't want, there's a debate going on. But anyway, the key part that I think that they got here is they're going to get some emails, communications, and drafts of a speech made in 2018 by a former SEC official named Bill Hinman. We've talked about him in the past. Bill gave a speech at a Yahoo Finance conference, which laid out the SEC's regulatory agenda. What is a security? Why isn't it? Why isn't Ethereum a security? Why isn't Bitcoin a security? And why these others, i.e., XRP, might be? We're going to get, at least XRP is going to get, and Ripple, they're going to get the notes, the drafts, to try to figure out. And in their view, they want to know what was the thought process, and did the SEC cut Ethereum, for example, a break? And we should point out that a lot of the former SEC officials, like Hinman, like Jay Clayton, now work for entities that do business with the Ethereum blockchain, or have investments in it. It's very interesting what Ripple is arguing here. I'm not saying that confluence is the there's a huge scandal here. I'm just saying what Ripple is arguing. So this is a big case. We should point out that Mr. Clayton, Mr. Hinman had no comment. They have denied in the past any conflicts of interest that swayed their viewpoints on these. As a matter of fact, they weren't involved in any of this Ethereum stuff that they're doing now in private practice when they were at the SEC. But this is heating up, and once you get the SEC the judge allowing these documents, that means we get it. That means everybody gets it.
Right.
These are going to be interesting stories about how the SEC came up with its current regulatory framework, and very controversial. This is a huge case if you own crypto. Trust me on this one.
Yep.
Back to you,
And
Liz.
nobody's more out front than you and your producer, Ellie Terrett. All right, thank you,
Ellie's
Charlie, very much.
doing a great job breaking stories left and right on this.
She is outstanding.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's why they call her
Charlie.
Crypto
President Joe
Lady.
Biden.
Crypto lady.
Oh, he
Crypto
doesn't
lady.
He doesn't stop. They cut him off because he just kept going. He's like, yeah, Ellie Terrett was here the other night. Ellie Terrett was
here, and she did an outstanding job. She was awesome. Man, now we're going to have to get Charlie on, and that's going to be interesting. We'll work on that one. Be interesting to have, but man, there's some really great comments that were, put in while this was going on. I got to kind of scroll back and see where we are. Let's see. There we go. Will they take our XRP and say it's a matter of national security? How interesting. A lot of people think that, that is kind of the direction it's going. And you have to ask yourself, though, why is it that Ripple and XRP are the only two that the SEC is really, really gunning for? Granted, they went after Kick with the Kin token, but that was a little bit obvious. That was a breach. That was being sold as a security. I think it was a little more clear, but there was no clarity after the fact. They went after library. Whatever happened with the library case?
It's still It's still going on.
But just nothing, right? I mean,
we haven't heard anything. But I don't think anybody's like really that. I don't know if anybody's that. It's probably stuff happening. Who knows?
I was thinking about this earlier, Chip. What about Cinnamon?
What about Cinnamon?
Cinnamon video.
Cinnamon's still going strong.
Is it?
I believe it is.
People using it?
Of course. Why not?
I went on their website. They said coming soon, live streaming.
Well, that's awesome. That would be pretty cool to live stream there too. So, Jeff, some big news. Morocco's largest bank, drum roll please, joins. Oh yeah, RippleNet. This is pretty cool. There it is right there, Morocco and RippleNet. Now, I'm not even going to take a chance at pronouncing this, Jeff, because Archejawafa Bank, the largest banking institution in Morocco with 53 billion worth of assets under management, joined Ripple Network. RippleNet Network, I should say, according to a recent report published by Bourse News. Also saw it reported by other outlets. Tie-up will allow the bank to conduct instantaneous transactions with its partners. The Archejawafa Bank also announced a partnership. I'll say it different every time, by the way, Jeff, just so you know.
That's good, just in case one of them is going to be right.
It might be right. With Thunes, a business-to-business cross-border payments network based in Singapore. That's another Ripple partner, I believe.
It is.
RippleNet's banking partners include Santander, Ripple partner, Bank of America, Industrial Bank, Banco Rendimento, and others. Last month, CEO Brad Garlinghouse didn't say anything about the SEC case. No, it doesn't say that. Announced that Ripple had its best year to date with on-demand
did say that.
liquidity payment solution that uses XRP as a bridge currency, now accounting for a fourth of all transactions. A fourth, Jeff. And then Drioche, head of international cash management at the Rabat-based bank, describes blockchain as a fast and foolproof way of transferring money. What she didn't say is unlike Swift, which takes you 3 to 5 days before you figured out you had an oopsie, But now they had an innovation, Jeff. You now get to find out within 24 hours if you screwed it up. So they got some sort of advanced.
Yeah, well, that's getting better. It's only been since 1974, or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Not that long.
Pretty recent. Atajuafa Bank, whose shares are trading on the Casablanca Stock Exchange, more than 4,900 branches in the UK, China, Madrid, Tunisia, and other countries. That's a lot of branches.
Really cool.
Think about that. For brick and mortars, Jeff?
Well, what people what they, don't really mention a lot when they talk about a customer, you think about, it's, one bank, but these banks, and that's a great representation. Imagine you have 10 customers and each one of your customers is 5,000 branches strong. All of a sudden your product's being used, at how many locations? 50,000 locations. I mean, that's a pretty big number, so it doesn't take a lot of customers to really, see some monumental, use out there. It just doesn't, it doesn't seem massive when you talk about it in customer numbers, but it really, think about, with Swift, they have 10,000 banks, participating banks. It's obviously a conglomerate, owned by the banks, but can you imagine 10,000 banks?
That's a lot.
So how many branches? I have no idea how many branches that would entail, but I'm sure the number's out there somewhere. It's a lot. It's a massive number.
But they also have banks in the UK, China, Madrid, Tunisia, other countries as well. Ripple's strong presence in the Middle East. Ripple has been laser focused on MENA countries for years. Regions become a place for the embattled company due to legal troubles. Oh, Jeff, they bring it up in every article on its home turf.
Why do they keep using these acronyms? And
that's
the Middle East and North Africa.
Middle East, North Africa. Just say it. Don't just know Middle East and North Africa.
Just spell it out. Does everybody know MENA? And did North African countries necessarily want to be affiliated with?
I was just going to say that, Jeff. I mean, why would you include them? They were just sitting there minding their own business. They were like, hey, we're North Africa. Why would we want to be involved in the Middle East? Yeah,
that's why when you go and you talk to Egyptians, I mean, they're really they're right there on the border. They're part of Africa.
That's right.
They don't see themselves as being part of the rest of the world up there. So similar to like in Iran, they're Persians.
Right. Africa, Jeff. In late 2018, the National Bank of Kuwait launched a remittance service powered by Ripple. Last May, the National Bank of Egypt joined the RippleNet network. In an October interview with Bloomberg, Garlinghouse said the Middle East was Ripple's fastest growing region, came shortly after Ripple announced a partnership with Dubai-based foreign exchange company called Al Ansari Exchange. And interesting. So it's good to see them on the move. They always are. Look at this, Jeff. Here's Electric John.
It's about to click it. It would have been like boom and then boom.
It says Jeff and Chip and Jeff. One is dope, the other deaf. Taking on the maxi twerp, stacking zerbs like Brainy Smurf. I like that, Jeff. That's like go ahead. Why don't you run through that once? Jeff, why don't you run through that? I want to hear another easier
trying to look at that breakup. I think you did a good job.
Come on, do it again. I want to hear you run through that. Come on, Jeff.
Let's see if we can do this. All right, here we go. Ready? Jeff and Chip and Jeff. One is dope, the other deaf. Taking on the maxi twerp, stacking zerps like Brainy Smurf.
There you go.
Look at that.
Right, I'm proud of you.
That's tongue tying.
Not one mess up.
A lot of stuff right there.
Can we fit that on a shirt, Jeff? Jeff and Chip and Jeff. One is dope, the other deaf. Taking on maxi twerp, stacking zerps like Brainy Smurf.
I think we can. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's a lot. Just like roll it across the thing.
Yeah.
By the way, we'll be back to back like this.
By the way, you can get this at onthechain.shop. XRP, can't be 100% sure, but I think it's magic.
I think it's magic. We'll be like back to back like this, Jeff. And it'll be like underneath our faces. Like, go ahead, do the back. Go ahead. Turn your chair. Let's do the.
What are we doing?
It's back to back on the shirt. With this, arms crossed. with the Chip and Jeff, Jeff and Chip.
we go.
One is dope, the other deaf. That's what we'll do. That's what I'm
Nice.
feeling, Jeff. That's what I'm
All
thinking is
right.
going to happen.
I
Yeah, thank you
can
for
do
that,
it.
Electric John.
You can do it.
You can do it. Just do it, would you please? And look at this right here. Edward, good to see you, man. Down with OTC, man.
Dude.
Ed, he's another OG. What do we have here? We have another one. Glenn Miller. Glenn Miller band. No, that was Glenn Miller was a super sticker. Probably some
Glenn Miller band.
Probably
Sweet.
some. Well, there's the Steve Miller band. There's a Glenn Miller orchestra. So
Right.
I just combined them and said the Glenn Miller band. So,
I was thinking about. I saw Steve Miller
Did you?
way back
Steve
in the
Miller
day.
is fantastic.
Very
Never
cool.
saw him. Never saw him live. Anyway,
Very cool.
I did have the albums. I did not play all the music.
I never saw the Glenn Miller band.
I was way before your time. The Glenn Miller, the Glenn Miller Orchestra, I believe it was, and that's my grandfather's time. I don't know. That's way back, dude.
Oh, great! Now we got a screenshot.
Oh, great, man. Now we got the memes, right? That's why a lot of people that don't show their face don't want to come on here and show their face because they're gonna meme city. You know, it's.
Oh, we got people over there photoshopping nonstop.
I like that too. I mean, they've done some funny things. Remember, they made me bald and you put hair. We gotta save these somewhere. I lose track of them. Was that Oscar that did that?
Yeah,
that was funny. They reversed their faces and.
Yeah, Glenn has been hearing that since 1984.
I know, don't you hear it? Well, with your last, my last name is Chip, actually. So you can imagine all the potato chip, chocolate chip, microchip.
Damn, it is. I didn't know that.
Yeah. People think it's the first time they ever said it. I'm like, that's pretty clever. Heard that since 1984. So speaking of 1984, Jeff, sounds like a lot of comparisons to today. This kind of seems to be going on.
1984.
I remember reading that book.
X Shrooms in the house here.
Jebsy, what's up? Chi-Town, some X Shrooms. Good old Jebsy, man. It was cool meeting Jebsy. Good to have him on the show.
Man, in Miami. Man, that was awesome.
It's a project, fish and chip. There you go.
Fish and chips.
All right. It was, remember the one time, it was one show, somebody called me, goodbye, Jeff and Simon. They called me Simon. I was like, now, and another person said, bye, Kef and Chip. And I'm like, well, Kef I get because the K is close to the J, and that's a typo. But Simon? What the hell, man? See you later. Like in the chat as they're the way out of the stream, they said like, bye, Jeff and Simon. Best. What?
That was like, good. Oh, we're looking like Simon.
So I said, now we've got Kef and Simon. That's us, Kef and Simon.
Kef and Simon.
There you go, Kef and Simon, right there.
Hey, welcome to On the Chain. This is Kef here with co-host Simon.
Simon, what's going on?
Simon.
Simon. It seems like everything is Simon. I think it's like it's got to be an Aussie name or a Brit name. I don't know. It's or a Scottish name or something. I don't know. It's American to me. So there you go, Jeff. Lots of cool stuff. And this one here, there's another good story coming up. Jeff, remember we tried to use this exchange not too long ago? You're going to see it right here. We had chatted about it. I don't know if we actually went through and used it. But look at this. OpenSea acquires crypto lending platform Dharma Labs. So with the acquisition, OpenSea intends to accelerate product development and expand into NFTs and Web3. So this is I think this is a pretty big deal right here because OpenSea is kind of moving. It's taken that next evolutionary step. And what we heard last night.
What was it that they bought?
Dharma Labs.
Nice.
Wasn't that one exchange we tried to use that was like lower fees?
Oh,
or
yeah,
something?
we looked into that at one point. Yeah, now they've got their co-founder, Nadav Hollander, will become OpenSea's chief tech officer. Man, look how that works.
Yeah, they acquired this.
Two biggies.
Well, it's always an undisclosed amount. Eventually, that'll come out at some point. But when you're private, when you're public, it always comes out. You can always look it up the next year. They usually cite it somewhere in the papers they release. Last year was noteworthy for many companies in the digital asset space because of the mainstream adoption as a whole. At the same time, the market for NFTs exploded, and Finzer does not expect 2022 to be any different. As we enter 2022, NFTs are squarely in the center of the public interest, and we are humbled, Jeff, by the opportunity to help drive the space forward. And it's interesting because the Dharma Labs acquisition will actually help them It is the largest NFT marketplace by volume. But we saw yesterday's show, we talked a little bit about the erosion was brought up. Remember, Barry Silver brought up the whole erosion of secondary marketplace of NFTs getting prices potentially. So it'll be interesting to see. OpenSea practically grew 1,000x overnight. He said in a series of tweets, "I'm humbled by the opportunity to join as CTO in this critical junction. My number one focus will be helping other NFT platforms succeed." No, that's not what he said. Actually said, "I hope OpenSea scale to meet the reliability, performance, and uptime benchmarks its users expect." And they deserve it, Jeff. They deserve it.
They do deserve it. Give it to them.
Yeah, the other co-founder and chief operating officer, Dharma, he's going to become OpenSea's head of strategy, hopes to bring a Web3 native perspective into product, business community, and marketing due to the company, according to the company's blog. So it's going to be interesting. They're going to sunset the Dharma wallet app over the next 30 days. Users either withdraw their Dharma smart wallet funds or they lose it forever.
Yeah.
OpenSea's largest NFT by volume secured $300 million in Series C funding. Guess what they did with that? They went over and acquired, probably with some of that little fundage, they probably went and acquired the Dharma Labs. So, but just like anything else, I think there's a good sign that they're going to actually be expanding. I think it's a good move for them. We'll have to
it's outstanding.
We'll have to pay close attention to see where that ends up. But I like it. I think it's a good move.
Yeah. Well, now since you're talking about that, let's talk about, one thing that you and I have talked a lot about is the fact that banks, the question is, it's kind of a race right now. Are banks going to buy the exchanges, or will the exchanges buy the banks? Who's going to be first? Now, we know that there's a huge amount of wealth being generated, a lot of liquidity in the exchanges. Banks, not necessarily so much liquidity, right? So now let's look at, here's come into reality, come into the mainstream, but BitMex execs plan to acquire one of Germany's oldest banks. Now imagine, here you have a crypto exchange, they're getting ready to make a massive move, and they're going to make a massive move because they want to get some of that banking space, and here we go. So they're buying a 260-year-old bank, which is amazing. Obviously, pending regulatory approval. But BXM Operations AG will purchase Bankhaus von der Heid for an undisclosed amount. Big deal, because this is, look at this, groundwork for their European expansion right there. That's big. So now all of a sudden, they're making massive moves. They want to move, and I'm assuming BitMex, controls most of their exchange down in Mexico and elsewhere. But here you have the acquisition. First step towards creating a one-stop shop for regulated cryptocurrency products across Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. Man, I mean, that to me, that's some exciting stuff.
You know what else is incredible about this? That is 22 years before the founding of the United States. This bank was founded in 1754. I mean, think about it like that. That's a bank that's been around forever. I mean, you're talking about generations, and they're and a crypto exchange is going to buy it. Wow.
Yeah. Now you go a little bit further, and you have Bankhaus von der Heid is no stranger to digital assets. In October, the Munich bank revealed plans to expand into crypto banking through a custody deal with Fireblocks, becoming one of the first banks to offer crypto services in the region. In addition to custody, Bankhaus currently offers blockchain payment services. So they're no stranger to the area, but they're nowhere near being a dominant player in the field. And so now BitMex, through this acquisition, it really can make, it could really change a lot. I mean, this is, putting them on the map in a completely different way, and will start setting a trend, I believe. Also, I think we're going to see more exchanges buying banks, and then their liquidity, their valuation, their capabilities, and their overall strength in mainstream is going to outshine what any of the banks are able to do at this point, brick and mortars. What say you?
I'm just blown away, Jeff, because you called this about a year ago that you said it was going to happen. And when you predicted that it would probably be an exchange purchasing a bank, and you nailed it, man. So you're a little
Nailed it.
clairvoyant there.
Oh.
You nailed it. Nailed it. Yeah, I remember seeing this story. I'm like, Jeff nailed it. Bam. And it's incredible. So one of the things that people will be faced with at some point where start making a lot of money with crypto. They invested the money 3, 4, 5, 10 years goes by. Now they've got a lot. And it's like, you want to purchase something out of that. And so what do you do? So this right here, again, another Miami fintech startup leading the pack. I mean, Miami's always pretty much everywhere. I'm proud of having it in my backyard here, Jeff, as are you. But look at this right here. So fintech startup Milo offering a 30-year crypto mortgage.
Man, that's exciting too.
So as
Things are
consumers,
changing.
yeah. So as consumers will be able to leverage their Bitcoin holdings and digital assets to purchase real estate in the United States. I mean, this is really great news. So Miami-based fintech startup is introducing what it claims to be the first crypto mortgage. So what I like about this, Jeff, is that suppose you're holding Bitcoin or Ethereum, XRP, whatever it might be. You don't have to do that conversion thing. It's like, well, especially if you're on Coinbase, you'd be like, you'll have to wait 6 years to move it off of Coinbase. And all you do is you send it from one wallet to another wallet and it's received. You're done. You're out.
I like
There's
it. I like it.
There's no intermediary.
Hmm.
And so this digital bank will allow crypto investors to leverage their digital assets to be able to purchase real estate in the U.S. Now, I can imagine this is going to spread easily to other countries. At the moment, easily, is that what it is? I can't even say it. It's so bizarro. And at the moment, only customers wanting to use Bitcoin as collateral qualify. But that's going to change too. 30-year mortgage loan. But, you know, if Bitcoiners be like, yeah, I'll buy a $300,000 house. How much Bitcoin is that? Okay, there you go. 6.5 Bitcoin. There you go. You're done.
Dude, it's awesome. You know, because now you're not cashing out. You're lending, you know, so you're paying your little bit of interest. And as you pay back, you're paying yourself back. You're getting your money back.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's good across the board. That's why you look at this idea of placing collateral that is, you know, what a great way. You don't necessarily need the credit because you're staking, you know, against that asset. They feel confident that since you're putting typically 2 for 1, you know, against the loan, that even if there's a drop in Bitcoin or you default on the loan, you know, they're getting your Bitcoin. You know, so there's all sorts of mechanisms in place that will push you not to, but it helps everybody. You know, it's perfect for the ecosystem, and I like the fact that you don't have to cash out and you're not taking, you know, paying tax on any profit because you're borrowing against it. So, you know, it's perfect. It's really perfect.
It really is perfect. You know what, Jeff? We missed a super chat here. I don't know how we did it, but somehow it happened.
One that just came in or one
there
earlier?
It is. Boom, there it is right there. K-Hud.
One just came through.
We are so fortunate to be here. You know, K-Hud, you are absolutely right. I mean, we are early, and sometimes we lose sight of that because every day and every hour, and you're checking prices all the time. But most people aren't even in. I mean, nobody's in. It's just it's so incredible that we're just here. We're dipping our toe in the water. And I love the way this is phrased. Instead of selling your crypto for a down payment, that's what you just said, Jeff, qualify for a mortgage. So your crypto, it lets you leverage your crypto in real estate. It's like this right here is next generation type stuff.
So 2 things there. Look at Molefunken. That bank was formed 2 years before Mozart was born. I mean, think about that.
Wow.
You know, based on like, I mean, it's really unbelievable. You think you go that far back. Did they envision that one day their bank was going to be bought out by a digital asset exchange? They probably couldn't even, you know, fathom that.
They must have been fantasizing about digital assets being called securities at some point in the future.
I'm sure they were.
It's ridiculous.
And then Papa Hado's in the house over here, and he's saying secured by the real estate or by the crypto. It is secured by the crypto.
It is, yeah.
Your mortgage is secured by the crypto. You're staking your Bitcoin or your other asset against what you're borrowing. So typically, you're going to have to put up 2 to borrow 1 as your collateral.
It remains unclear how much Bitcoin will be needed to secure a loan. So
Not
it
sure
also
yet.
says, or the level of over collateralization needed to balance out the digital assets volatility.
That's the other part.
Yeah,
You
otherwise
have
you
to
get
keep
wiped
topping
out
it up, and
and you
there's
get
all
kicked out of
sorts
your
of
house.
yeah. You lose. That'd be horrible. You get kicked out of your house,
Liquidated,
and you get liquidated. It's
and you
all
got to find a new
there. You
place
go.
to live.
And you got to find, yeah, and you got no more Bitcoin.
The
So that
existing
would really
ways,
suck.
it would be horrible. But again, this at some point, they'll accept crypto just for payment, and maybe you don't even have a mortgage, or your mortgage isn't. This is just one way to look at it. But as this
Yeah.
goes, so does everything else. It's just a matter of it's the first kind of product, and there's going to be a lot more, and pretty soon it'll be second nature to say, oh yeah, I pay with Bitcoin. I pay with XRP. I bought this house. How much did it cost? I don't know. It costs whatever, XRP. People tell you an XRP or it costs, 8 Bitcoin. Okay, what does that mean? Well, at the time, Bitcoin was worth blah, blah, and that's so you can do the math. We're coming into a really cool period of time, Jeff. That's where we're headed.
Here's what's interesting. I'm trying to read through Jim D's statement here. He says multi-party smart crypto contracts make pledging crypto for loans very practical, even handles cases of estate settlement if a party assigns interest to the estate, etc. And I'm thinking through that. I'm like, man, could you imagine, you're writing up your estate, your will, and it's very obvious now, right? Because you're basically already assigning percentages of your estate to your descendants, to those that will inherit the will. And there's no negotiation, there's no argument, there's no lawyer, there's nothing. Through a smart contract upon death, these percentages, automatically get pushed over to their digital wallet in NFT format or whatever. That's one interesting thing to think about. Now, Chip, I was thinking about a whole other concept. So imagine, you go and buy a house, and you can then potentially sell off shares of your house, right? And you can have multiple people owning a percentage of the house in terms of, when it goes to sell, or maybe instead of paying the mortgage company, you're paying all these individuals, paying them back. So there's all, yeah. I mean, just obviously you'd have to have a third party company probably orchestrating that, but you could have people investing in other people's real estate buys. I mean, there's already platforms similar to that where people are borrowing money in a P2P environment, but it's moving it more into a smart contract. And, maybe, there's a way you can sell off 50% of your home, or, I don't know. I'm not sure. Just ideas. That's it. You're muted. Can't hear you.
Sorry about that. Introducing Rupina at the North American Bitcoin Conference on Monday, pro-crypto Miami Mayor Francis Suarez said that the Bitcoin mortgage is a groundbreaking achievement for advancing U.S. dominance in the Bitcoin ecosystem. To become the capital of capital, Miami needs companies like Milo who are willing to innovate and ideate. Is that what it is? Ideate. And it's absolutely true because, like I said, is it the perfect product? Doesn't have to be. The point is that this is the first step. You crawl, you walk, then you run. And that's where we're headed. And this is going to become second nature at some point. It's incredible. Early days, Jeff.
It is early days, but XRP Speedboat is saying, okay, but what about the you won't own anything narrative?
DOA, by the way, DOA died on arrival.
Doesn't work so well in the crypto space.
No. Well, Web3, see, the whole idea of Web3 is that we've cut out all the intermediaries and it becomes about us. It's about us securing loans. It's peer-to-peer type of stuff. It's DeFi. That's where it's going. And all of the elites who had all this power and were doing all this stuff and could borrow at cheap rates and could do all these things, that is decentralization, and cryptocurrency is changing all that. And I think that's really, how did that come up? That's weird. Weird story. Oh, this is because I think I put it there. Here it is. This is the right one. Let me see. Yeah. Well, I wanted to play this, Jeff, because I feel like this is a universal statement of sorts. This has always been one of my favorite phrases of all time, and I think you will echo that as well.
See?
I just got to
Yeah,
click the right
see?
button, Josh. Yeah, see?
Yeah,
Hey.
see? Click that button over there, see?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? See? And this was tweeted out by Elliot Lee. Elliot Lee is the developer of growth engineering on the XRP ledger, Ripple Dev,
Is it
Ripple
a
X
video?
Dev, formerly at Braintree and other payment services, formerly of PayPal, formerly of Kraken. So Elliot Lee is very accomplished. And he put this out. I follow him. I like to watch some of the stuff that he puts out. And this is what I wanted to play, Jeff. It's a 9-second clip that we might have to play more than once because it's important for everybody around the world for right now. Let's listen to this statement
All
right
right,
here.
let's hear this.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
I mean, yeah, that's terrifying. I'm here to help. And not only the English language, but in any language, those
Translate it into
7,
any
8,
language.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
yeah.
That's great.
How true is that though, Jeff? I mean, quite honestly.
Yeah. Very
It's good,
true.
It's good stuff.
Spot on true.
Yeah. And
So
and well, let me show you why he did that. I'll just show it. I'm not going to say it, but I'll just show it. This is why he was basically commenting on this one. The old, I'm here from the government. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I thought that would be a nice little interlude there.
that's really cool. Hey, so I want to put this up, just kind of a funny story, and it's so this was, not sure how I even found this at this point, but Elon Musk's name appears in a 69-year-old book about space travel. It's really
Not
funny
time
that he
travel
is-
though, right?
No, unfortunately, not time travel. But so tech billionaire Elon Musk promised to bring humans to Mars by 2024, but his mission predicted 70 years earlier. So he tweeted, so this is, you go down here. Here we go. So Elon tweets December 30th, Destiny, no escaping that for me. And then this person, Toby, writes, speaking about Destiny, did you know that von Braun's 1953 book, Mars Project, referenced a person named Elon that would bring humans to Mars? Pretty nuts. Now, I don't speak German, so if there's anyone out there, is there anybody in there that can that can read German?
Well,
Then,
somebody said it was more
good
like an official. Somebody said if you go down there, it said something about an official. Just scroll
Yeah.
down. Wasn't there more text around it in the story itself?
Oh, there might have been.
Somebody said something. I think it translated to more like a government official. That was called
see.
Elon, but
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of goes through. He was only slightly off. Von Braun's book says that the highest leader on Mars will be known as Elon, not that his name will be Elon. Another user explained the difference using an English translation of the book. So, well, it's still interesting though. It was predicted.
yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of coincidences, but at some point, you run out of names and you run out of stuff. And Elon is a interesting name, but if it said Elon Musk, and you'd be like, he was a time traveler, I'd be like, wait a minute.
That's what I was expecting though.
Yeah,
Going
it
through
sounds
that,
like
it's like, wait a minute.
it's funny that somebody saw that and wrote a whole story about it. It is funny. I mean, it's an interesting coincidence, of course.
Now, I'd still like to know how somebody knows that was there. Who must have read this book and remembered chapter 24. But I found the English version, and it says the Martian government was directed by 10 men, the leader of whom was elected by universal suffrage for 5 years and entitled Elon. 2 houses of parliament enacted the laws to be administered by the Elon and his cabinet. So that's okay. But maybe we can start referring to him as the Elon, kind of similar to the Bitcoin.
Something like that. The Elon.
Right.
Speaking of, so somebody had put in the chat earlier that Songbird was tanking, and I just checked the price. It has dropped a little bit from what it was, but I want to throw this up there because this is kind of like positive news. It talked about the bifurcation of the crypto market And look at this right here. Look what we have. Look what we have here, Jeff. Check this out. Sparkles, the Songbird community love NFTs. Look at this right here, right? And in 24 hours, 430,000 SGB traded.
Interesting.
So that's pretty incredible. 430,000 SGB were traded in the first 24 hours. So there's some of the NFTs.
NFT.
Yeah. So I mean, there you go. It's like it's pretty fascinating that
It's pretty
people are
interesting.
like, yeah, you got the whales and the birds and the zombies and all
Look at
that stuff.
Some
Yeah.
good talent over there. Look at
Yeah.
that.
Good stuff.
Some
So
cool stuff.
I thought that was pretty interesting. And then this one here, Jeff, get your thoughts on this because this one, look at this one right here. Google. Oh my Google. Google Pay partners with cryptocurrency exchanges to accept their digital cards. And
They tried that once before. It didn't go over too well.
They did try that. It seems like a rehashed story.
Another day, the Google card. And you
Look
had
at
your
this.
Visa or Amex connected to it.
Another day, another massive company entering the cryptocurrency space. Google making moves to boost up the profile of their Google Pay service. And of course, crypto in the mix. Company hired Arnold Goldberg, ex-senior vice president at PayPal, to run its payments division. That's according to Bloomberg, who broke the story. Moves part of a broader strategy to team up with a wider range of financial services, including crypto, said Bill Reddy. That's Google's president of commerce. So it's interesting, Jeff. I don't know. Talks about some of the many failures they've had. And the funny thing about it is, if it wasn't for search, almost everything has been, if you look at just all the ex-Google products that have been sunsetted, it's 98% of any product they've ever rolled out.
If it wasn't for their ads and you're right, with the search and the ads, the ad revenue, the YouTube revenue. Remember we looked that up to see how much money they were generating just through YouTube alone. I mean, it's
15 billion is what they made in 2020.
Astonishing.
2020, $15 billion on YouTube. So remember this one, Jeff? The Google Pay service far behind the competitors, facing a crowded space, many players. Recently, Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google, partnered with 11 banks for an initiative called Plex, and then canceled everything at the last second. Remember that?
This happens, but it happens often.
We're not a bank.
It's not. Yeah.
We have no intention of being a bank. I mean, why'd you go like right to the wire and like just cancel it? Something else must have gone on. Something's not right, Jeff. I don't know.
They're not a bank.
They're not a bank.
They're not a financial service. They should kind of stay out of that space.
They should.
PayPal's got that down. Let PayPal enter the crypto space and see how they, can figure things out. But Google, it's kind of on the same lines as what Facebook was trying to do, and that didn't go through Congress too well. Then Google trying to compete with Apple Pay, but Apple Pay really isn't a financial service per se. All right.
Not
Pay is connected to your Visa card or Amex or whatever.
Exactly. So on my wallet, on my Apple Pay, but it uses my facial recognition. I can hold it up to a petrol gas pump, hold it up there, bling, and it just
simplifies your process.
Yeah, whatever card I grab, it's just now. The nice thing about it is it's no touch points and no fraud because I don't have those reader cards that are just taking my card and making it. So EC2189, thank you for that. He says former SpaceX employee opens automated pizza company called Stellar Pizza. Takes whatever value. I find this humorous and subliminal. Stellar
Humorless.
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 And subliminal. Stellar Pizza.
Stellar Pizza. You can only buy it with XLM. No, it was pretty cool though, and you can actually start up a franchise, or you can buy into the Stellar Pizza franchise. And it's kind of an interesting idea. I guess over in Japan, you can do all sorts of stuff in the vending machine arena. I don't know how does it work over here, the vending machine space. Remember they used to have coffee machines?
Yeah,
I don't know if they still have those. They're a little different now. But back in the day,
were horrible back in the day, Jeff.
Oh yeah.
You really had to be wanting something to drink, but not coffee. It was like black tarry, and then you put like some chemicals that were like some kind of cream to make it somewhat palatable. It was
Stellar Artois.
It was bad.
Stella.
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 Stella. Then there's this one here from XRP Speedboat. Waiting for an SEC answer is like trying to make s'mores in a thunderstorm. Man, you know what? I'll be honest, Jeff. I've never attempted to make s'mores in a thunderstorm, although I have made those around campfires. But
You
if
know
it
what?
starts raining,
I think I just read that in a fortune cookie.
really? Waiting for it looks like a fortune cookie. Looks like something you'd see in a fortune cookie. It's like
You get that?
waiting for an SEC answer is like trying to make s'mores in a thunderstorm. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interessante. I like that. You like that one, Jeff?
It was very funny.
That's interesting. Interesting, Jeff.
Drone delivery. There you go.
I think we'll
I
get
don't
to
know
the
what
point.
happened today. Remember they were talking a lot about that, and they were going through, and there's all
Battery,
this
Jeff.
drone, and now nothing.
Have you ever seen a drone that's flying around and all of a sudden it's at the end of its life cycle of battery and it just sort of kind of comes down?
Yeah,
There
that.
goes
Or
your
could you imagine
pizza.
you have drones arriving near your house? People are going to be out there with baseball bats, knocking them out of the sky. I'm sure you'll be penalized severely when they capture you on camera doing that. But
And I wanted to point this out since we have such an international audience, but John Deaton put this tweet out to my international
strong.
XRP holders. I'm proud to announce Crypto Law US's International Connect to Congress call for action. As promised, we've activated an option for international holders to connect to the US Congress because, you know, a lot of times the postal codes don't always fare well and the providences and all that stuff. So this is really fantastic. And what I will have to do.
that's really awesome. That's amazing because this is an international suit. So people all over the world have been impacted. And I think John has really made a great point of that. You know, and as we talk to people, and obviously when we started the show, we have people that are tuning in from everywhere tonight, which is really outstanding. And so there you go.
Let me go ahead
You
and
know,
throw
it's
that
really,
in
really
the
great to see that going. What's up, Sean Thompson?
Sean Thompson. International petition mirrors the message from the U.S. holders. It reads, we're writing to you as the chairpersons and ranking members of U.S. congressional committees, blah, 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 blah. There it is. It's a lot of reading, Jeff, at the end of the show. So
That was
anyway,
pretty
go
good.
find it on
That's
Crypto Law.
what you call speed reading.
That's what you call it's time for the next segment, Jeff, of the show. You know what that is?
Yeah.
On the chain.io, Jeff. That's exactly what it is.
Are we there?
We're there.
What about the Russian central bank that dumped more U.S. Treasury bonds? That's not so exciting.
Yeah, well, they used to have 150 million. Now they're down to like 100. Well, I mean, they dumped it for gold. I mean, that's why not?
2013, 150 billion worth of government bonds, and right now they have 2.4 billion.
Right, and they dumped it for gold. What do you think was smart? Smart, right?
Yeah, maybe they should have dumped it for Bitcoin. They were following Michael Saylor's posts. They'd be living large right now.
It could be. It could
Had you
be.
take
Jeff.
that 150 billion and you double down on Bitcoin.
All right, let's.
So check this out. So if you're brand new here, you can hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to On the Chain. And if you want to tune in live, you can see us 6 days a week, actually. 6 days. 6 days a week, Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like Chip is showing you on the screen, you hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notifier. And one thing that you guys have to do, go over, you get, might even have a link in the description, might even have a link in the chat. But if you check it out, you can go find On the Chain, our short channel. And if you go over to On the Chain and you subscribe over there, we are putting up short segments from all these different live streams. And you go over there and say, you know what? I want to go back. There was a clip in there. They pulled something out that was really cool, but I don't want to go back and listen to an entire hour. But there might be like 10, 15 minutes or 8 minutes of a spot. Like tomorrow, there's going to be one on Eleanor. I don't even know what it is yet. But thanks to Hans Loaded, he is the producer of all of those short segments, doing a phenomenal job, pulling them out, getting it ready. And we're going to have that all set up to launch tomorrow morning. And we're going to launch these on that channel, you can find shorts every morning. Hopefully, as long as we have those clips ready, stay tuned and look out for them at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the morning. That's what time we're putting them up. That's what time they're going to go live, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's good for everybody. That's really, really cool.
Hell yeah, it is.
So.
It's good. And so we had a comment on the other channel, and somebody wrote, how the hell did you guys go from almost 23,000 subscribers to less than 8,000? I was like, simple. We have 2 channels. And if you notice, this one is this is where we pull clips from the show.
Right. And we got to rename it. We'll name it so it'd be very obvious. This one's On the Chain Live. The other one might be On the Chain Clips. It might be On the Chain Shorts, or we might even do a poll out there and see what everybody out there in the OTC community
to differentiate between them. Yeah, for
named
sure.
to differentiate. So, but that's all we got tonight. We look forward to. I can't believe tomorrow's Thursday all over again. I feel like it was just Thursday yesterday, but it's Thursday tomorrow. So we'll be back here 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a lot of other excellent, very cool content. And go check out Berserker. Berserker's over live streaming right now at 9 o'clock. Someone can drop the link into the chat. You guys can go check him out too. He's pretty cool. And everyone there is cool. And they talk about a lot of cool things. How do you like that? There you go. Hans Loaded. There's a link. Go check him out. And we'll see you guys
on the next one. See you later. Bye.
We're out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.